Hey everyone, my name is Jason Measles. I'm the owner at Oakwood Roofing and Construction. I just wanted to take a little bit of time to talk to you about your home and in particular your roof. Before I started this company, I was a catastrophe insurance adjuster for 23 years. And during that time, I handled thousands of insurance claims for homeowners who had damage. And sometimes that damage presented itself because their roof was leaking and they had water coming into their house, stains on the ceiling and whatnot. Other times they saw that they knew they had a windstorm come through and they had missing shingles off of their roof, or maybe they had hail that has hit their roof recently or in the past, and they wanted to have somebody come out and take a look to see if their roof needed to be replaced due to that hail damage. And one thing that I always found interesting was how little people really think about their roof until it's too late. It's already leaking, or there's wind damage, there's hail damage. I mean, naturally, if you've got missing shingles, you need to call a roofer. If you've had big hail, you need to call a roofer. Even if you've had relatively small hail, it's a good idea to have that roof looked at, because you need somebody that's an expert in this area to be able to determine if the hail caused damage to the shingles. And for the most part, you're never going to be able to see hail damage to shingles when you're just standing on the ground. And for that matter, a lot of people can't identify hail damage even when they're on the roof. It's not always just something that's real easy to see. Sometimes there's smaller hail or softer hail that can cause damage, can shorten the life of your roof, and it's just not visible if you don't have a trained and experienced person looking for that damage. So anyway, my point being is that there's a lot of people that just don't really think about their roofs unless it's already leaking or they have obvious damage. And so one thing I want to talk about is that while that's very important that you have your roof inspected by an expert, if you've noticed a problem like that, or if you've had hail or high winds, there's other things that can cause your roof to fail. And I guess really one of those main things is just age, and it's constantly exposed to the sun and the elements. And even if you have a lot of tree coverage around your house, the sap from the trees can start to cause damage, or if maybe you're not able to get if the leaves fall in the fall, and land on the roof and sit there, and they don't get removed if you're not doing something actively to take them off. Just those leaves sitting on the roof for a period of time can cause the shingles to deteriorate sooner than they should have. So there's a lot of factors that come into play as far as when you may need to replace your roof, and you really don't want to wait until it's too late and it's leaking and you've got your ceiling collapsing on you and everything. So it's always a good idea, if you have any concern that your roof may be getting old, or if you've noticed some shingles in your yard, or you've had a hailstorm or two in the recently or over the last several years. If you haven't had your roof looked at by an expert, then it's always a really good idea to do so, to have somebody come out there that knows how to look at this type of damage and identify it and tell you, number one, what needs to be done. Does it need to be repaired? Because not all damage has to be, requires a full replacement. A lot of times it does, and that it also depends on a lot of different variables: the age of the roof, the extent of the damage. Is it isolated? Is it widespread? Was it hail? And if it was hail damage, how big was the hail? How long did the hail last? How hard was the hail? Because not all hail is sometimes it's soft hail, sometimes it's very dense. So there's all these different variables that come into play, which makes it really critical that you have somebody that really is experienced in first identifying the damage and then fixing the damage. And again, the damage may require full replacement, or maybe it doesn't. Maybe you just need to replace a few shingles if it's wind damage, for example, in an isolated area and the roof isn't real old and it can still be fixed. Or maybe it's on the other end of that deal where you've got wind damage and it's kind of scattered all over. The roof's pretty old and it's getting just time to be replaced, and you can't really fix it because as the shingles get old, they get really thin and brittle. But there's just so many variables, and the thing is about a roof is a lot of the time you can't see that from the ground. Even if you have a one-story house with a really steep pitch and you're looking right at your roof every time you pull up in the driveway or whatever, you're not going to always see the problems that are going on with that roof. Number one, if you don't really know what you're looking for, and if you're not actually on the roof. And so that's one thing that we can do to help you out. We can provide an expert analysis of your roof. at Oakwood Roofing and Construction. We can tell you if it needs to be repaired, if it needs to be replaced, or if it's in, it's in good shape and you've got some more time left and you don't need to do anything. And so you want somebody that again is an expert in first identifying the damage. And then the next thing is you need somebody that once they've identified that there's damage, that knows what is it that needs to be done to fix it. Again, that goes into, we need to repair it, do we need to replace it? And again, I've got so many years in this business that I'm at Oakwood myself, and any of the roofing sales representatives that I would send out are all expertly trained in how to identify what's going on with your roof and what's it going to take to get it right, whether it be repair, replacement, or nothing. Just bide your time and be grateful that nothing needs to be done, because a lot of times that's the case. Not every roof needs to be replaced, obviously, or repaired for that matter. But it's important to realize that your roof is really the first line of defense that protects your home from the elements. And your home, for most people, your home is your largest investment that you'll ever make. So it's critical that you're taking the necessary precautions to keep that roof in good shape, so it's keeping the rain and everything out of the inside of your house. And also there's times where maybe it's not even coming all the way inside where you can see spots on the ceiling, but it's leaking, and it could start to rot out your roof decking or the framing, and then you start getting into much more costly repairs if you just wait and let that go, because it's just going to get worse if that's happening and you're not aware of it. And again, that goes back to having somebody get up there and take a look and that knows what they're looking for, to see if you have any of those kind of problems where that you've got any kind of failures that you may not even be aware of. So that kind of gets me to the next thing I want to talk about. Is a lot of times people are concerned, well, gosh, I can't afford it. The roofs are so expensive. And the truth of the matter is they are fairly expensive. The labor to install them is not cheap. The materials aren't cheap. But the good thing is, here at Oakwood Roofing and Construction, if money is an issue, for those that qualify, we do offer financing. So it's not always one of those things where, oh boy, I need a new roof and I've got to come up with this money today. If your roof needs to be replaced today, it needs to be replaced today. You can't control that. If it needs to be fixed today, you can't control that. But what we do, where we do have some room to work with you on that, if the cost is an issue, is that we can offer you financing. Again, if you qualify, we can offer you financing. And so, in other words, you can, instead of having to come up with it all out of pocket today, you can spread that cost over a number of years. We can get loans up to 10 years or more. So there's a lot of different options for being able to finance it. And of course, if it's an insurance claim and we're able to get your insurance company to cover any damage that we identify on the roof, then you're looking at a fraction of the cost anyway, whether you finance or not, because really all you're having to do at that point is come up with your deductible. And we can, 99 times out of 100, we can work with your insurance company based on the pricing that they provide, and do the roof for their price with no hassle to you. We meet with the insurance company. We can help you through all the paperwork and kind of the red tape that you have to go through when you're dealing with an insurance claim, to make sure that it's as painless as possible, and that it's a quick process, because an insurance claim is a process. But we've got a lot of experience at Oakwood Roofing and Construction dealing with that insurance process. So we'd love to have an opportunity to come out and give you a free, no-hassle roof inspection. We've got people available to come out there and take a look whenever we can coordinate a time that's convenient for you. So please, if you're interested, if you'd like us to come out and take a look and see if you need anything done, or if nothing else, get that peace of mind that you don't need anything done and that your roof is in great shape, click the link below and provide your information, and we'll get you on our calendar and come out and take a look, and we'll go from there, and we'll let you know where you stand. Thank you very much. Again, my name is Jason Measles at Oakwood Roofing and Construction. Click that link below and fill out the information, and you can set an appointment directly through the site there, or we can give you a call and talk to you about it and get something set in the near future. Thank you very much, and y'all have a nice day.